Greetings shipmates and welcome to a new episode of Let's Make Mistakes. Now today I'm going to be taking a look at the maligned Italian cruisers. Today, as you can see, we are in the Tier VI Trento. Now this is a game that's been featured because we're at the bottom tier. It's an interesting game. We're bottom tier, spoiler alert. We're going to lose all 3 caps and we're going to be 500 points behind and we're going to have a lot of work to get through. They're not the greatest of ships at doing many things. Obviously you can't start fires on anything. The ricochet angles aren't particularly good, although I have been playing this on the test servers as well, and they have increased the armour penetration angles of SAP, and they do look a lot better than they currently are on the live servers. They're certainly better against battleships, and cruisers take a lot more damage. If you're a DD, I think you're going to be quite annoyed and pissed off, because when you're firing all the guns and DDs disappear, it's a bit, oh wow, you think that's probably not right. So while they've allowed and corrected for these kind of things against the higher tier ships and against the cruisers and specifically the battleships, the damage they're delivering in alpha towards DDs is probably a little bit excessive. I might be wrong, I only played a few games, but I said oh wow on more than one occasion. So let's switch our attention to the game that we're going to play now. Now, as I showed at the start of it on the divisional page, obviously, we're bottom tier, and there's only 2 other tier 6 ships here. The rest is all tier 8 gameplay. So we're not going to be doing anything too spectacular to begin with, because everyone always likes the look of a nice tier 6 ship early on in the game. And knowing how soft and squishy these things are, yeah, I'm firing at them as well from every possible angle because they eat citadel damage for fun. They are very soft. I think the gameplay style for what's been working is more of an ambush type cruiser against DDs, getting yourself into positions and then delivering that heavy alpha and then vacating the area with the smoke quickly. Or that last minute YOLO rush, which you see many people doing. But there are a couple of problems with this kind of game style. Is the detection range on this thing is fucking massive. It's the moon. So getting yourself into these positions where you can deliver damage without being spotted and get out is very tricky to do. And with only 3 consumables of on board of smoke, that's quite tough. It's a long reload. This is part of the reason, of course, that I took the long way around the island there in the top of C5, a common map that we've seen on clan battles at the moment. And a quick plug for clan battles. Mistakes were made. Are recruiting for players that are looking to do clan battles at the moment. We're doing well. We're just on the door of Hurricane League. If you are interested, please comment below or contact us in the game. It would be most appreciated. And then back to our schedule programming. So I was looking here towards the Akazuki and thinking I might be able to get shots off of him because my perimeter is just below the Bravadoh cap at the moment. Now at the back, I did get spotted. And as you can see, immediately I'm detected by 4 ships. So we're going to play around with our throttles a little bit there because we know there's shells coming in on us, and play around with our rudder a little bit to manoeuvre the ship. But the idea is I want to get in behind this island just to disappear for a minute, try and save my arse. Now fortunately I've seen one of my lower tier friends on the other side, so he's worth shooting at to begin with. And as we can see there, our salvos landed nothing. We can see Bravo's already gone. The Fiji smoke quite useful, so we're going to slam on the brakes here and try and hide behind that, and then we'll try and get some damage off of this Akazuki as he makes his way across the cap. He's sailing in nice straight lines, and there we go. That's a decent 6.5k volley to begin with. And I think he's still going in straight lines. Right, he's slowing down for his smoke now, so we're just going to roughly remember where he was. Normally the standard MO there is to slam the anchors on and then start reversing a bit. But again, we do manage to land some hits. A couple of K and a defended on in there. But as we can see down at Alpha, we've lost the DD that was pushing into the cap there, which is disappointing. And they are in full retreat over there. That flank is looking like it's going to collapse. So we need to try and make something happen here quickly. But again, I've gone detected again. Now, I haven't dropped smoke just yet. I'm just, I'm playing a little risky, I suppose, at this point. Normally, when you've got that many things targeting you, it's time to vacate and get out. But I look on the map at what was around and what could fire at me. Yeah, it wasn't as much as I thought, so I thought it was worth the risk. And we've now known that we are stationary and being detected, we've decided we're going to move off. But we are losing Charlie. But we are getting some hits on in this Matsu. They're not great, as you can see. We're not getting big damage. But yeah, we've got decent range on our torpedoes here, 12k, so we're going to send them through the cap. You never know, we might be able to collect something on the way. But we are a ship down, and we've just lost the Charlie cap now. We're going to have to manoeuvre around that. And very, very shortly, Alpha's going to disappear as well. That's no longer going to be in our favour. So this game it's not looking good to begin with, is it? Now, the Kagero coming up here. So I'm looking to just move up the map and just keep range on this Mutsu. As he comes around the corner, I want to try and deliver some damage to him. The Kagero's in a nice position to spot. I'm in a position I can turn away and just move back up towards, back up the A line if I need to, start kiting away. But try and do some damage on the way out. I need to try and keep the ship in the game. That's the key. At this early stage, there's so many ships, it's difficult to push in and make action happen. So we are playing at range and we are kiting around. I just want to live long enough to try and have an impact on the game later. Now, because of my position there and the Helena turn up, I have decided that I want to drop the smoke just so I can move away from these ships. And as you can see there, too much risk on the play has cost me a huge amount of damage. But luckily for us, the Kagero has managed to get rid of that Helena. And while our smoke's running there, we can get a bit more damage in on this Mutsu, and then we're going to turn in towards... Well, we're going to turn along the top of the A line, then move down into the cap around the 8, so we can try and get whatever's coming in there into a crossfire between the two ships. Mutsu looking to disengage. Now I want to just keep the islands between me. I'm trying to stay concealed because he knows I'm out here, and you can be pretty sure if he's not got anything else to shoot at, he's going to be looking to keep those guns trained on me. And there he goes, turning away. The Kagero doing an excellent job, by the way, keeping him spotted. And there was comps for him later on afterwards. He had a very solid game. Lost sight in the Masuku just as I was pressing the M key to check his orientation. And then he pops back up again. So we're just going to try and reacquire him. Switch back to SAP shells because he is angled. AMP is going to do nothing at this range. Just shatters and ricochets. Whereas SAP may give us something. Those shells should be arriving somewhere around now, unless they managed to all miss. They did. So we're going to X marks the spot. Check that on the mini-map for our circle and the orientation of the ship. Just lead off his bow. Hopefully we get a better volume in this time. Always hard to line them up when they're behind the island, but the mini-map is there to help. That little O on there will help you and let you know what way they're going. Just stick the pointer in front of it and then try and work out the air drag. Because these shells, they're very, very strange. They seem to have good initial velocity, mid-flight velocity, and in here they seem to slow right down. So you end up taking a much bigger lead than you think you're going to need to compared to other cruiser play. It's not even like the American ones. American shells are quite floaty, but they seem to they've got less air drag and less, so they carry the same velocity. So you can kind of manage your lead all the way. These SAP ones, they take a fair bit of getting used to. Now I know the Kagero's got in here, so I know he's in the problematic position, so I decided to push the hood. The Kagero, he's going to have his torpedoes up soon, so I'm trying to take a little bit of attention away from him, bring the hood in my direction. Slightly risky play, I know, but hood dispersion, anything's possible. And then we're just going to be changing course. We're just going to jog on the throttles. As he's fired, we turn the bow of the ship into it, just to try and miss, lower the profile of the ship. He's having to work very, very hard to deal with the Kagero problem now, and that's not going to work out in his favour. So we can just afford to carry on going here. We're going to put all of our faith in Mr. Kagero getting the job done with torpedoes. So he's got bigger problems than me right now. The Kag sent one set, he's holding his second set. He's clearly interested in me now, he knows he's going down. So we're just changing profile again in case he got another shot off, which he failed to do. Now this is the frustrating one here. That Molotov is a very, very tasty position. He's just cruising around on the edge. The Akazuki I think the Kag's got because he's got spotted and still in smoke, so I elected to go for the Molotov, just use the torpedoes to check what he's doing. We can see a reverse, open fire, and literally just as we fired, he's disappeared. Now we can start doing something here. We are a significant amount of points behind. Where are we? 370 for 600 right now, but we are starting to flip Bravadoh. Although, if you look at that position in Bravadoh, it's not going to be very tenable, is it? Baltimore's driving through. He hasn't really got the support he needs over there, and there's an Edinburgh broadside to him. Yeah, he's not going to be in this game for much longer. So we're going to carry on our merry, merry way through here. Now, I'm trying to get in behind this smoke screen quickly while shelling that Roma. Try and use that as a little bit of cover. Again, my smoke is available now. He's the only thing shooting at me, the Roma. Now, yep, he can hit me hard and hurt me a lot. But as I'm just tracking the shells as they come in, and we'll just manoeuvre the boat. We'll turn in a bit just to try and narrow the profile up, and we've managed to dodge that one. Baltimore's just about hanging in the middle there at the moment, I think, but not for much longer. And we're just going to carry on with this Roma. We're going to keep firing him. We are taking this cap now, but there we go. He's gone down, and we are 500 points behind. So we're still in trouble here. We've still got a long, long way to go. But it's not over. Never over until it's over. If we can keep this Roma pushing away from the cap, and then we're in good shape, which is exactly what he's doing now. Now I've crossed the threshold for smoke, so my firing debuff isn't quite off yet. I know he's shooting at me. This was silly. I know it was. I opened fire again. Kind of wished I hadn't, and then I turned the boat in immediately after doing so, because I just kind of realised that I probably cocked up a little bit there. Just hoping that we didn't pay too heavy a price, because the Roma right now, he's going away from this objective. We have this objective. It's not critical for me to do anything with that. But we've lost another ship, and we're now 550 points behind. So, yeah, I don't need to be worrying about that Roma. That Kagero is going to shadow him down the map, and I need to get over to Bravadoh and try and do something about this. But yeah, we are running out of ships. I mean, the enemy, they've got 2 caps. We need to try and make something happen over there. This is going to be a challenge to do, but we still have time left. We've got 9 minutes, and we've got our damage up to about 45k at the moment. But again, the thing you suffer with SAPs on Italian, this lack of HE. There's no HE available to you. So I can't start fires. It's just going to all be about damage. And my only chance of doing any ticks is if we're going to go for torpedo damage. And as I've done there, I've sent them torpedoes preemptively through that gap for the Edinburgh, and then dropped my smoke. I was hoping that he might actually turn bow into us, so I preemptively torpedoed that way. Annoyingly, just drifted inside detection. I thought it was 8.1, it wasn't, it was 8.4 for smoke, so I got fired. I got that penalty for firing in my smoke. And the other penalty for that is that the Amagi fancies shooting at me as well. But we have managed to turn away and make that distance back from our next error. Mistakes were made, while we continue to work on this Amagi. Now, firing debuffs on or no, I'm just turning up and away from the map. Now, another thing that's come to my attention is the Hessen Young hasn't been seen for a long time in the other DD. And so I think they are probably coming north of this island to come and get involved. And as I was looking across here now, as we're just starting to move beyond the Amagi turning there behind the islands, we're still detected here. So we know there's something north. So I'm just playing around with detection at the moment, watching that. It still says nothing at the moment, but something's out here. And we're going to have to go and have a look for that. We've got shells out on the Amagi again. Again, the SAP. This is another Tier VIII battleship. And we've managed to finish him off. So you can get some good solid like 3, 4, 5Ks, but nothing you're really going to write home about. But we are still detected. Now, it could be the Edinburgh. But as my firing debuff goes away shortly, we'll notice that we are still detected. So I'm just going to bring the boat north. It also takes me away from the threat of the ships below, which is the Edinburgh and the Ranger. And the Roma's a long way out of it at the moment. And there is a DD. But we're still surface detected at the moment. I haven't fired. But now I have on the Edinburgh, so I know there's something else. There's something near me, something north of the Edinburgh that's going to cause problems. So again, I'm just going to send the torps. They're armed and preemptive. I mean, they are slow, but they've got good range on them. So if he decides he's going to drop smoke in there and fire, we can maybe we can get a bit lucky. So I'm manoeuvring the ship hard. Now, one of the things the Italians do have going for them is they are quite manoeuvrable, but only at speed. You need to keep your speed up. And as we thought earlier, there is a DD knocking around up here, and there are torpedoes. No, they're not the deep water ones, so I think we can guess who's up there. And I'm just going to head towards those and just pay attention to where they went past. And as suspected, the Kagero's managed to come too close and got himself spotted. We only got 800 with our first volley there on 1 penetration, so I swing the boat round because we know his torpedoes are out of play, and then we get the rear guns in there as well and done. But, interestingly, I'm still detected again. Now, it can't be the DD and the cruiser that are in that cap, because they're further back. There's something else out here, and I'm thinking at this point it could well be the CV. And as we think it is, he does pop up just in front of us. Now, we're not going to let this pass up, because we're still 450 points behind at the moment, and still 2 caps down. But if we can get rid of him, and we've managed to land a torpedo on that Hessen Yang in the cap as well, then we've got a good chance of recovering. Now, SAP against a similar tier ship and a CV at this range, I mean, you see, that's pretty decent, isn't it, really? We've just put another Citadel through the Ranger over there, even though we're under quite intense AA. So, when you're under AA, there's not really a lot you can do, is there? You whack your sectors on, but you can move the ship around, manoeuvre the ship left and right. Certainly if it's the dive bombers, if he pops his torpedoes on me, it's going to cost me 4k a torp, so I've got a little bit of latitude to play. Now with him coming here, I've slowed down a little bit because I'm thinking about I'm going to drop the smoke. Because I'm coming round the corner, the fighters are coming there. If the Edinburgh's still in there, he could blap me. So dropping the smoke now allows me to traverse this open space very, very quickly. And if we're very lucky, the Edinburgh will come up and we can get him before he gets shots on us. And hopefully we can get them planes down. And as we'd hoped was going to happen, there's the Edinburgh. He's disengaging from his smoke. His guns are on the wrong side. I had AP in the pipe because I thought he might still be broadside. We do get a decent volley on him. Not the kill though, the NC does that job for us. And they are down to one ship only, and only the Roma left for them. So we are only 200 points behind, and we've got 2 caps back now. But as you can see from the timer, it's still not enough to actually win the game, because the game time is going to run out before they win the game, before we can win the game. So we're going to have to push on and get over to here. And if I'm the Roma, I'm going to be starting to make shapes and heading up towards here. So far we're in for 106,000 damage. We've got 1 cap. That's all right. But again, we're seeing. The CV has saved our damage here, but this has really been a game of keeping the ship alive and able to contribute. And we have contributed to the game. We've been able to help the cap. We've been able to help the push across. Maybe I would come through B, but I thought the right play was to go across the top and search for that DD, which was hanging around up the top. Otherwise, he'd have come in the side and put the torpedoes in, which is one of the things this ship does do pretty well, is the DD hunting role. Specification-wise, I haven't really finished playing with it yet. I'm still on 16 points, so build is a bit, negated at the moment. One thing I have found though is on the upgrades is your rudder's probably more important than anything else, because this thing does like to lose its rudder quite often. You get shot and that's gone. So that's one thing to be careful of. And we're gonna here we go. We're finally coming into the cap now. Now this is where you could go one of 2 ways. I could push through and go at the Roma, but this counter here is tetchy. At 2.5 minutes, if we lose ships, we could still lose points here. And even though we have got 2 caps and we are coming back, losing 1 ship will give them back a big points advantage, and we don't have the time to recover. So I'm not going to attack the Roma. What I'm doing is I'm just keeping my bow on, and then, as you see there, just using the torpedoes to get a handle on what way he's going. I don't want to meet him. Now I'm not prepared to risk it. And now he's looking to go. He's starting to move back the other way. I was just keeping the bow onto this island, so I've got the option to disengage out to the left or the right. The Fiji's very low on health. If he goes, then the game swings back into their favour. So I don't think it's worth risking my ship at this point in time as well, because 2 kills would probably be enough to take the game away from us. Now, I was thinking maybe here, you can see there he's going across, that we could send the torpedoes, but with the CAG out there, who's had a very solid game, I didn't think it was worth the risk. And we have just lost the Fiji, and we can see there the points tick is very, very close. They're going to win the game before we do, so we really can't afford to lose another ship. So I've stopped the boat here, just going to keep it protected. We're going to loose a volley over there on the Roma, and then we'll just start moving the boat forward. I don't want him to see me, because otherwise that will put us in deep doo-doo. Again, SAP doing its best there. 1 penetration, 5 non-pens, so still pretty poor. But we did our best. And fortunately, we managed to bring this game home and onto a win. And a pretty good win, I would say, actually. I was quite pleased with that, because the Tier 6 Uptiered is not a pleasant experience, and certainly not in one of these Italian cruisers at the moment. But it's not too bad there. We've managed to pull 584,000 credits out of it, 147 shell hits, and then we got those 7 aircraft, 3 destroyed floodings. The team score 2,400 base, so we're quite pleased with that one. Quite pleased with that, and the CAG solidly in behind us there as well. A quick look at the detail report. We did a lot of the damage to the Ranger, minimal to the other Tier 8 ships. We did manage to rake in a huge amount of command XP as well. And that is the Tier 6 Trento. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, it really does help a lot. You can also find me playing live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Bravadoh, and also I'm on Twitter as Bravadoh EU, where you can follow for an announcement. Thanks again for watching, have a cracking day, and until we sync again, Bravadoh out.